Yeah, right. They're just like staring.
Is that what scoff is? It's a girl.
Did I do it?
Yeah, I think you did it.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
You stand where you stand by virtue of the road you walked to get there. You stand where you stand by virtue of the road you walked to get there.
Is that what he says?
You put the quote in.
Happy birthday, stream!
Birthday stream.
This is a birthday stream. Did you see the title? We're end walking to Dawn Trail.
I don't know what that means.
All right, let's get to Endwalker.
Are we doing it?
We're doing it. Endwalker time.
Endwalker. It's fucked up. Birthday stream is fucked up. That's not fair. You got a cool birthday stream.
No, it was messed up too. Oh, we're working now.
We're working now. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they're willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlene's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let's reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right. You'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods.
I don't see it. Did you see what oh, what is it? Oh, it's the face. That's what you chose.
Sorry, were you waiting long?
Always.
I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Kryl should also be along shortly.
I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final day specifically. So we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if there are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare, and share our discoveries as we make them.
It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read and a ready supply of hot tea.
Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home.
It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Charlene, we were not to be allowed across the threshold.
Fortune. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the forum will perhaps lead to our reconciliation.
We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. What of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family? Or do they not live here in the city?
Ah, well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlian, yes, but I was born rather further away, in the southern reaches of Ilzabard. In fact, for generations my people have dwelt in Corvus, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Allegans founded a city in that fertile land and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvus braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allegan technology from being misused.
Visit Corvus under Garlean rule.
For the past 50 years, yes, some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces. the Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amonis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus.
Among Us. But you want to play this piano piece, don't you?
I do. If we had a piano, I would be playing it right now. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in elegant civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices have been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the elegant eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Ala. As the last child born with the elegant eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldesion, who had me registered as a Charlian citizen.
I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question.
You wouldn't have. Even Thancred was taken in by the Archon Louis Sois, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Charlians than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity.
What?
We outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. I think I said that right. Perspicacity. It can't be sassy. Tell us, what does it mean?
Keenness of mental perception and understanding, discernment, or penetration.
Oh.
The quality of having a ready insight into things, or shrewdness.
It has my name in it.
Yet regardless, no, I read that. This is exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud of.
Here, here. Another good reason to get to the bottom of the foreign's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Seavy. More company should be arriving any moment now.
Did you see my minion? Lumiere.
Lumiere.
Yeah,
Lumiere. Lumiere.
From Beauty and the Beast.
I know what you're talking about. Lumiere.
We've returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kryle has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source.
Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarot firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details.
It went like this.
My thanks. Now where to begin?
That's what we saw in the sky.
First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Alright, a complete destabilization of creation magics. Primals of unrivaled power were summoned from the ether. The worst kind of phenomena you can imagine. That's what I'm gonna say.
What? No, because it was a complete destabilization of creation magics.
What did you say?
Destabilization of creation magics. This is what happened. They couldn't summon things with their brains in. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancient themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the street. I told you that's what happened.
That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Yushtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days?
Hydaelyn talked to everybody.
The entire storm was engulfed by disaster all at once. They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Alphino, you can answer this one.
The entire star was engulfed by disaster all at once. Oh.
I think you may be misremembering. As I recall, 'twas more of a gradual spread.
Whatever, Alfie.
The
The
Amora...
Amoratine spoke of a keening sound that rose from the land itself,
see.
just before a region was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness.
So the ground was crying out, you say? To be considered the harbinger of doom must have been quite distinctive, probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Numenon's mammoths and ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take?
They summoned Zodiark, with the little bus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiark, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Venat and her fellows not manifested their opposition in the form of Heidelberg.
Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review.
I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events.
With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophoroi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech? Convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash. But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we?
We should keep an eye out for your Stola, but this time we began studying these research papers.
I'm the last, am I? While my extended search of the Archine stocks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Garen oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Guba Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find.
Good point.
It stands to reason, then, that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet, when you confronted Master Fortunal with knowledge of the Telophoroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the He scoffed at this suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it's being kept secret from the rest of the nation.
It's just Alice. It's just over there looking at you.
Yeah, right. They're just like staring.
Is that what scoff is? Did I do it a good representation?
I think you did good there. That was a good scoff.
Are you gonna try a scoff?
Did I do it?
Yeah, I think you did it.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
All right.
See, it is a sneeze and a cough. Yeah, definitely. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone.
Yeah, what do you think we do? We don't read. You labor for what feels like an age as you stole as a research assistant.
But oh dear, you look exhausted. Is this an extra person over here? Who is it? Oh, it is.
This the person.
You're gonna get jumped. That's his name.
You're gonna.
Anyway, oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mammoth at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time.
Is that it? Did we finish?
That's it.
Wait, did we reach our goal? No, Alize is here. She has.
Did we reach our... We did it!
I thought we were like, oh man, look at us. We're not walking in
Nailed it.
Endwalker. Hold on,
We
let's-
are walking. We're just walking across this thing.
A seat at the last stand. Oh, we're only the second quest.
Shit. I don't know if we'll get it all done. 2 quests done?
2 quests.
Nailed it.
No, we only have 1 quest done. We're on the second one.
Shit. Damn it.
We've been on for like an hour.
Hold on. Hold on. What time is it?
It's 2.
We've only been working for like 35, 40 minutes
Yeah.
because our stream was so fucked up.
No, but the first 20 of that. Oh, hey, it's Modric. You missed our
You missed our fail.
technical difficulties earlier.
Hey.
What's that?
Hey,
What's
put
that?
it on the big screen.
Oh, this one?
Birthday stream!
Birthday stream! She gets 2 birthday streams. Yeah.
I get 2. My birthday's on Tuesday.
It was weird. It was weird troubleshooting today.
It's okay. We scoff at the matter. Our cameras were lagging and Twitch wasn't connecting.
We're still
and
kind of weird lagging. Some sort of out of syncness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how you say it. Yeah,
It's Trib Yappy.
yeah. Yep.
Trib Yap.
She gets 2. It's this week.
I get 2 birthday
next
streams.
week,
We're gonna do
because
this weekend
hers
next
is in
week.
the middle of the week.
Nailing it. What are we gonna do for my birthday?
We're gonna have some good Asian food.
Yeah. Some good hibachi.
Yeah, hibachi.
Are we gonna eat it there? Or are we gonna take it home like normal?
We're gonna take it home.
Cool. That sounds great.
Should we eat it there?
No,
Oh, okay.
we could. I don't know.
All right. Let's do
Anyway,
it.
We're doing it. Ready for a tea break, Seavy. I know I am. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telophoroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think?
Alize is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Alice. Yeah, we already know this. We did this last time with Grant. Okay. What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. It's so weird.
You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Telophoroi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and...
Stop talking.
Oh my god.
Wait, you're that house Levelier girl, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims. And here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've not to say to the likes of you.
I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Comes again.
You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do because you said that, old man? We're gonna sit right next to you. You can just type sit and then open your
I don't
emotes.
have a keyboard.
You have your emotes. There, emotes. Go to sit. You're not even looking at him. You're gonna sit in his table and not look at him.
Yeah, I think that's more annoying to him.
No, he refuses to be in our company, so we must sit at his
So I
company.
refuse to be in his company.
What? How can you be refusing to
Dick.
be in his company by sitting in his table? That's not how this works.
Because I'm not looking at him, I'm refusing to be in his company. Because he's a dick.
But we're getting
Dick.
back at him by being in his company.
Whatever.
Gosh, do I need to teach you how to be petty?
Yes. Yeah. I believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness. If it isn't the young Miss Leveilleux. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Fortunault that I was helping you. I see. Sorry to have bothered you.
I mean, if they're disowned, they can't be walking around with the last name, right? So they should have a different last name that people call them by.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's that they're just very recognizable. There's the other Dickin.
Oh, he's hiding. Dickin is hiding.
Dickin is dicking around.
I couldn't see it because on my screen, look, it was being covered by the
See by that. Look, it's Dickin. Hey, Dickin.
Dickin, you dicking around. Dickin.
Dick. Dicking around.
Dick. Dicking around.
Oh, shit. We got a show.
Welcome, madame. What can I offer you today? Oh, 11 yet. Wait, is that Mistress Alizé I see there? My word, how long has it been?
Far too long.
Charlie and Starbeast.
Meet Dickin, the owner of The Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the studio.
That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea. But then you never came back.
And you never
Lately, there's
came.
been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home?
It is Charlie and Starbeast. It's so great. It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems.
Well, it is House Levelier. No matter how discreet Master Fortunault may have been, news of your family's doings never stay secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times?
We have questions, and only Charlian has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickin, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days?
What? Like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find. Information on this apocalypse?
Yeah, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me.
I wish there was more I could do to help. You could be like, oi, talk to this lady.
Oi.
Huh. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Charlene, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for.
Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? I'm very good at this.
That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes need to go. Oh my gosh, we're playing Overcooked in Final Fantasy. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them, you should see a Mikote's gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck.
Man, real chores.
Audrey, I thought you said we were done with the chores.
Is it snowing?
I think so.
Snowing in Charlian now.
Wow. Cafe. Wait. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was the tea set.
Okay.
Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you.
Oh, my tea set.
The Talafa who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them or their final days. Friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. What are we gonna serve?
Yeah, why is it? Oh, where are you? I don't remember what this one is.
You don't remember?
No. What was it? What'd you pick?
Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's
Is it the
dig
omelet?
in. No time to waste.
I'll give it the omelet.
What, the Talaferoy? Oh, yeah. I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. All these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood. Best stay out of it, I say. Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain Switzerland. Urbane banter with a smile.
I can do that. I'll do it. I'll do urbane banter with a smile. I think you can arrange your stress.
At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. It's the Mikote. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. Oh yeah, look at that. The final days. This is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't gotten here in Charlian. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. But by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these telophoroi make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor, you'll see what I mean. A carton loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before. Not like this.
Your mindset. You don't need to butter me up, you know? I've already ordered one of the most expensive things on the menu.
Oh, you sank.
Okay, that was it. So I gotta give him his lobster for him to talk.
Let's see. Fat lobster. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Rare.
Rawr. Are they like up on a mountain somewhere that's making it snow?
Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Interesting. You seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon has nothing to offer. And he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thanks for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised.
Nice.
But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues.
Alright.
Yeah, we're just hella far north. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind, out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Grahas said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently. They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos, a vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat.
What are they packing up? They're trying to save stuff so that when the end of the world happens, they got
Didn't you
some
hear
stuff.
something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Party in the snow, like it's not even.
We should tell the others what we've learned about the gleaners. Go on ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Welcome back, Teavy. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have ya?
I have.
It's a hairy pickle.
This is it. It's a.
There's hair on the mic. Yeah, anyway, not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the...
I keep thinking they're cleaners, but they're gleaners. Stop reading. Y'shtola is saying something.
I see it. Makes sense. The gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the forum. A sudden and significant increase in gleaner traffic and in cargo certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion.
Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Y'shtola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with the Seavy and Alizé learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlians know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet, my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telafroi is wholly unlikely these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorz's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale.
I don't think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. A fine idea.
Anything would be better than burying my head in another one of those dusty books.
Glad you approve. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
I understand not everyone is the studious type. Consider this a welcome change of pace then. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place.
That would be a great help. Thanks, Raha.
Make sure it's Dewey Decimal, okay?
Do they do Dewey Decimal there?
I don't think so.
Let's head down the stairs over there and I'll show you where the entrance is. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. We'll take the lead, so stay close.
Follow Alizé and try not to fall behind.
Off we go then.
Off we pop.
Off you pop.
Off we poppin'.
We're all here now, yeah? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right. Everyone onto the lift and down we go.
Nice.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Interesting music.
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
Taurus. Hurry.
Reams.
Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Interesting.
I mean, it's called Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlian itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see. And once upon a time, this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Quite right.
Quite right.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Echo.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Did you get
Did
it
you call
too?
to me just now? No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Does it ever change weather down here?
You
You're
here to
here,
help
no.
her?
Yeah.
You here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose.
Your exchange with Aaronville has taught you about exhausted gleaners. Wow. We're looking at a rarity.
Wait, this person is male?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at how much shorter he is compared to you.
Oh.
And he doesn't have a chest that says as big as yours.
Oh.
You can look at him from the side.
No, I just feel like they're non-binary.
I mean, it could very well be.
Oh, I didn't know they were shorter than females. Maybe they're they, them. That guy doesn't count? It's true. Any luck, CB? What tales did the gleaners have to tell?
I made a note of all of them. Here you go.
So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. Huh. That'd explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right. The forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning labyrinthos upside down in the process.
All right.
We would do well to learn more of what specifically the gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, CV, I have an idea.
What just happened? Did you just move?
Didn't one of the gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, you might be inclined toward a more friendly and enlightening conversation. I sat down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you kneeled so that you can talk to her better.
Finally. God, where has that been for all of these expansions?
That's interesting.
In the meantime, I'll turn my charms upon this gleaner here. We can compare notes afterward. Happy hunting.
Maybe she complained that her neck was hurting at some point. I just walked right in front of you.
You did.
You wish to help me find the marmots. I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. The name is Aaronville, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack, gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so you'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on the marmot or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck! How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Ah, there's an odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thanks. Took me a long while to get it. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's so much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to capture them so swiftly. You have my thanks.
What are you gonna do with them now?
Who tasked you to do it? That's for the forum to decide. They are the guiding authority behind labyrinthos after all, and this job was but one small part of this great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow.
There you are, Seavy. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Alright.
Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk anyway?
I am Kryle of the students of Baldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That's why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning.
Wise and practical. Never hurt to try again and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls, other animals to capture and closures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services.
Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the forum. However, the gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far.
We also discovered when the operation was begun. The forum contacted the Gleaners Guild ship and put their people to this great work for some 4 days after the Telophoroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus, am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate.
Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. And I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophoroi's declaration was what set it all in motion?
Correct.
Seems likely. Let's not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower...
Uh-oh. Are you being called to another world like everyone else?
Kryle, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache. That's all. Nothing that'll stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then.
At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. We followed the path east through the forest where you are chasing after that mouse, or Marmot, was it? Anyway, it's the trolls you need to watch out for. We already met them.
Yep.
Behold the Archeon. As Numenon serves as Charlian's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. The building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archeon contains a physical history of the Charlians' unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Oh, you leveled up! Wow. 4 more levels and then you'll be 90. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Oh, I thought you wanted to leave the door open.
You said it would mess with the lights.
You can leave it open.
Oh.
Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archeon's vaults. Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners then. Might I ask your affiliation?
We belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public.
Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter.
Huh. Not us then. Suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that?
You want us to go down?
Nope.
That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory.
What, so this is as far as we can go?
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded.
By that time, it'll be too late. We were so close to getting answers.
Sushi. Get sushi.
We need to rethink our approach. Let's step outside for the moment, shall we?
Students of Baldesian. Whatever. That's what he said. You are of no import.
We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. 'Tis likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let's ask around. Surely someone's in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load.
Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close. Very close.
I can help.
You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the Hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry is a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart.
Distinctive caw!
The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. There it goes. I got it.
Right.
You're so proud of yourself.
I am.
Me too. This bird is
Fair
massive.
shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
I was not expecting that to be his accent.
That's not the accent you used.
It's not at all the accent that I used. Oh, Hindi cast members.
Cool.
There you are. Any new revelations?
Just in the book.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill.
Yeah,
I
get over
understand
it.
catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties.
Right.
But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
Interesting.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. and among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
They're trying to create a place that could withstand the final days.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the forum's plans.
Because why else would you be trying to put things together and seeing what'll survive over there? What's hardy? What's gonna make a new... They're trying to terraform stuff.
Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Just take us down with you on the lift.
Right.
That's all we need.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
All right.
All of us?
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
All right.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
She looks sad.
Yeah, she does.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Huh.
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of labyrinthos.
Okay.
While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
He said good luck.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back.
Not for the champions of Eorzea.
I bid you good day.
Know what I'm saying?
I know what she's saying.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Everyone just leaves us behind every time. Look at us. We're just standing there. Ooh. Wine.
Aha. Now I know where we are. This is Mariel Agronomics.
I think we missed out on that.
Labyrinthos is... Oh, we did. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it's this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research
Kiss grapes.
go to feed their labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed. Mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card.
I see no gleaners hereabouts. Yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It's possible they know something of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues. I guess the sound didn't change. Ooh, a white flower.
Ooh, glowy.
You glow. I glow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It sounds like aardvark, but it's probably not.
Doesn't it?
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true.
So what's our emotion if it's white like that?
It's like a mood flower.
This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders.
Well, that's not good.
Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy. Dark, subdued shades for frustration or despair.
But this is bright and glowing. Right? Is this...
It's ashen gray.
Oh.
Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Alright, random botanist dude who just came out of nowhere talking to us.
Right.
Scion background music.
Have you learned aught of interest?
Just flowers.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
That's a cello.
It's not a violin.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be helpful?
Well, there's one now.
No way.
Just keep going down lower.
Isn't that the entrance to the Arcane?
Arcane. Not Archeon.
Arcane.
Arcane.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on.
Uh-oh. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all
go.
Cryle?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
What's going on, Cryle?
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
What you talking about? What's Cryle trying to do?
Hold a moment. I have an idea.
Well, how'd you know what she was gonna say?
Psychic. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers.
Wow.
Should have its own lifts with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible.
Oh.
Hippity hop, my little toads.
She just turned all of us into toads.
Goodness.
No warning. They're huge.
We're big. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not. It'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magics fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures? Hereabouts. In that, hereabouts. In that form, you are essentially defenseless. I can't stop.
What?
Great.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work.
Thank you.
So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
The world is about to end.
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty.
To protect.
And now that word of the final
preserve.
days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge.
I knew it. I was correct in my assumption. They're creating a place that will last.
I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Lolly ho! These frogs do not belong here.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
Dang.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
Guys, you're not the correct kind of frogs that should be living in this environment.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Like that's his job, is to literally collect species all over the world.
Right.
I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty, the Forum agent mentioned. Charlian has been called to action, and the Telophoroid's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill. They deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. A guide of sorts. Second to last.
What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum in the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Ystoli and Kryl for the moment and see what they think of this.
Oh, you found her. What are you doing?
Turn around.
I mean, I know where to go because that's where you are.
Oh.
Oh, she just pulled it out. The guy just said it was super rare.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Okay.
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
She's talking about Heidelin. So she was talking about Heidelin.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
See, I told you she was...
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
Because we're warriors of light.
Wait, hold on.
What?
That was good.
Together, raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was.
Well, that's why it sounded familiar. Yes, I have listened to that song many a times.
See.
Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
Right.
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Uh-oh.
It's always trouble with Alize. Gosh. Who is this guy?
Master Fortuno? What business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress
Garlemald
Baldessian,
music.
our records show you
Or
facilitated the
Ascassian
Scions'
music.
entrance into Sharlian by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Man.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlian as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
Wow. What did you call us?
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
Nah.
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Oh, shit.
Grah! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Man, why you gonna? How can you restrict stuff if people are trying to learn things? That's not how libraries work.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Why should we listen to you, hatless man?
Hatless man.
The rest of them got hats. That means they're more important than you. Is this the part in the trailer?
Oh.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together.
Quite right.
Quite right.
I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Twice.
The forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
Okay, that's a little stretch.
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Kryle's hoodie is down.
Oh shit.
These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
Oh my god.
This guy's got a...
It's pretty intense.
What a dick. That's what I call him, a dick.
Oh my god.
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Speak your mind.
Oh, here we go, Cryo.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Caught out.
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the forum's policymaking process.
to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
Nuance.
The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene.
Y'all corrupt. What y'all doing?
But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
They can't speak of it.
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
That was the trailer. That's what she said.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand.
Let's go back to the syllabus, guys. Back to the syllabus.
By their own
Or
admission,
the
these
agenda.
scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given?
Do that.
No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Man.
Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
I see two.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
He counted that real fast. How could he see behind him?
Students, scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered with our freedoms so sorely curtailed. However, we will struggle to learn a lot more of his substance here in Sharlayan.
All right, last one.
The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. His father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family.
It's you.
Alfino, Alize.
Everybody was all about this when she showed up.
It is you.
Mother!
When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother.
She too has white hair. What's her name?
A millionth live a year at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Cool.
Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you if word reaches father that you are here. But he disowned you, not her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I'm well aware that you and Master Fortuno are not on the best of terms at the mo, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We'll be back at the annex when you're ready to rejoin us. Not sure Seavy, what do you think? Seavy, the seavyteavy? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Seavy, if you'd be so kind as to escort my children to the estate.
You just bossed us around.
And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest, indeed, the matter's settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three.
What did happen to their butlers? They just told them to stop following us? I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Seavy? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit?
Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much.
Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy.
Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos and you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. I mean, God, never mind. The Levier estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on.
Oh, this whole mansion is their freaking house?
Yeah.
Is that what we said last time?
I was gonna say. I think it's this.
I think it's this big house here.
And here you are at last. Please do come in.
Butlers.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome home, my lady.
What? What are you gawping at?
This massive house. You spoiled children. What'd you say?
House Levier in all its grandeur.
It's grandeur.
Oh, gods, please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
Bro, you live in the Queen's mansion.
Right.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
He's cold.
I think he's hungry.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Take your time. Apparently, I'm gonna go around investigating this mansion.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
That's nice of you.
Thanks, Ma.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
But that's because they keep following me around.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them.
Do they like write their letters together and send it as one letter?
Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Sure, Ma.
I got plenty of them. What would you like to hear about? We could talk about our friend Estinian, who's on the island, or Sir Turmeric, or all the other people in the Asian land where all the dragons live. New clothing!
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
No. But if it's the exact
Naturally.
same except
You
with,
are hardly
just
little
blue.
children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become.
Watch it be the same, but blue.
Sir Turmeric is Sir Emmerich. We already saw
See
it.
for
It's in the
yourself.
trailer. That's what they look like in the trailer.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
Oh,
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
is the floaty things on his back.
Oh, see.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father.
He don't use them
Though he
anymore,
may
does
as well be chained to his desk these days. As a student, he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Oh, she gave us a wink. Very slow. Oh, hey.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master. But someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb.
Aplomb.
May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Okay.
Ask for forgiveness later.
Oh, Mother.
Right.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Wow, we got to meet their mom. Oh, wow. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her. And I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex where you join our...
Enjoyed your time with the Leviers, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide. And the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation in Thavner, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move.
We finished.
Cool.
We finished our goal for today.
Cool.
We were a state visitor.
Yay, we did it today.
Okay, that's it for Endwalker today. What I say? That's our
21st.
Endwalking on the road to Dawn Trail.